spirit, come to me now, for I wish to know things no living soul should know. Yet I want to know them. What harm could come from such things? Oh, little plantain, whatever you are, move of thy own volition. I'm going to move my hands now, you do it yourself. I've seen the films, do it. Yes, go on. Brilliant. Awesome. That's great. That's great news. It really is. Misty One, please tell me something. Didn't think this through. It's a little fast. It's a little fast if I'm honest. We'll start again. We'll do it again. But let me write the letters down on my phone. Here we go. I got Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia. It's a country, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's auto-corrected. I tell you what, I'll get a bit of paper and I'll write it down. It can't auto-correct paper. I'm going to turn the light on as well. Right, let's go again, shall we? There we go, we've got a message. You gonna die. What? This grammar is terrible. What, are you a gangster rapper? You are, I'm going to do an apostrophe. I know there's no apostrophe on them, but I would have forgiven you. You are, you're going to die. Going to die. You go, well, me? I'm not going to die. Well, I will. Not tonight.
The arms of the angel.
Merry Halloween! Hello. Welcome to an extra special Halloween edition of Dan Does, which is only slightly more sinister than a regular episode of Dan Does. So I'm going to start with this tiny little skull. This skull cost me £20 from the Wilco, which is dead now. So everything has a horror twist to it. But I need a bigger one. So let's summon it from the otherworldly realm. I honestly don't know why people pay for things. Just summon them from another realm. Now off camera I have sanded this sucker, and now I'm going to use these special burr bits for my rotary tool and get rid of those teeth. Those teeth look crap. And for the record, for those of you that clicked without looking at the thumbnail, I'm making a gross skull. Yes, cliche, I know, been done a million times, but hey, I want to have a bit of fun. Those of you that are regulars to this channel will know how much I am afraid of this rotary tool, so this is horror for me. I'm going to take this little spinny death needle and drill out all of this thing's plastic teeth, and all the while I'm hoping it turns out fine. This thing was pretty cheap, it cost £2. The skull, not the rotary tool. I had to take this thing outside, it was making a proper mess. But I did it, eventually, it looks alright. I mean, we can work with this. That's the attitude to have on this Halloween season. Positivity. and death. Now I need to remove this mother's jaw. So give that good old yank. It should. When you hear a crack, you know you've done it. A little tip for you at home, those of you that are de-jawing people. I believe that's the word. Why a de-jaw at all, I hear you asking? Firstly, it's fun. And secondly, I want to reattach it at a jaunty Halloween-esque angle. To do this, I'm going to use a drill. I'm not afraid of drills, just rotary tools. Drills are different. I feel much more comfortable with a drill. If I was going to be a slasher, almost said flasher then. If I was going to be a slasher, I think I'd use a drill. Does it count as slashing? If you're not slashing, you're drilling? I think yes. That music was completely unwarranted. There was nothing scary about that scene at all. I'm using a tiny bit of armature wire to reattach the jaw, stick it in there, a bit of super glue, reattach it again, and then I gave it a lovely grey prime. Now it's time to give this fella some teeth, and to do this I'm going to be using some Cernit translucent clay. Now sometimes this clay has a little life left in it, so take out your granddad's saw and chop that motherfucker up. It's the quickest. Oh god damn it! It's not all glamour, this side of the lens. Now often I make teeth that are pointy and monster-like. Today I'm going to go for realism. They don't look very real in this pot as I fill it, with more teeth than I need, just in case. But when they're attached, they should be fine. I mean, I haven't got the pointy rooty bit, you know what I mean. Now while I fry these, or air fry these in the air fryer for 15 minutes, I want to tell you about a little tradition, apparently, in the UK. There was a plasterer in my house recently who took the chimney breast down, and he said that he's found many times boxes of hair and teeth hidden in the fireplace, under the wall, or in like a little space where a brick was. And that's a normal thing, to ward off evil spirits. I asked him what did he do with the boxes when he found them, and he said he kept them. Or put them back, I can't remember. But he seemed very blasé about it. According to these teeth, somebody will die tonight. Anyway, it's time to reveal that archive. I'm going to use this to cut some of the ends off of some of the teeth, because some of the teeth are flat, some are pointy. So just use this to refine them a bit. And after that satisfying sound, I'm going to take out this. I think it's a carpenter's pencil. I'm not sure. It's a metal tipped. It's not pencil. It has no lead. It's just like a pointy. It's like a compass. But it's for marking wood. And it's great for scratching up teeth. I mean, not real teeth. I mean clay. It's great for scratching up clay. God, I'm getting so confused. What's real? I know what's real. Forget me.
Howdy, they call me Chip. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hello, my name is Simon, and Chip is a very distant relation of mine. Breaking out the hot glue, and while I wait for it to do its little ghost poo, I've dug out this ball of twine from the boot of my car. It was right next to the duct tape and the many, many knives. I like to hunt. I don't even have a car. I don't even know how to drive. I'm going to use this twine to give this skull some tendons, as I believe the layers of a face go skull, tendons, and then the other stuff. So that's my logic. Using hot glue to attach these, obviously, because it's the easiest glue to use with twine. And all the little loose strands taking a naked flame to them. And burning those little hairs away. Don't do it for too long or you will burn the world down. And if it wasn't Halloween, I would also tell you to open a window or wear a respirator. But it is Halloween, so do what you want. This is Gloss Mod Podge. I've run out of matte Mod Podge, but it didn't really matter at this stage. I'm going to cover the entire thing with this Mod Podge, but stipple it. Because what I'm going to do with this skull is every layer, every process, I'm going to make sure there is texture, because I don't know what's going to be showing through at the end. So just texture everything to be safe. Oosh! This is Milliput, a 2-part epoxy putty. I think plumbers use it on pipes and things because you can make things with it underwater apparently, according to the box. I might have to try that out one day. I never will. I'm going to use this to add some lumps and bumps and a bit more mass to the skull. When I say mass, I move my hands in a globe shape. You can't see that, but take my word for it. Mass. Now, I'm not really sure about the anatomy of a face. I'm very good at recognising faces, by the way, but not so much when the skin's removed. So I'm just kind of winging it here. I'm adding little strands here and there. I want to beef out the nose a bit, and whatever milliput I have left at the end, because everybody always has loads left, I'm going to just apply that to the top of the head and the eyebrow as bumps. Because not only is this a skinless, gore-covered skull, it's also mutated. There you go, that's what we're doing now. You can't say something's wrong if it's mutated, because it could be anything. Have that. I've painted the whole thing in a mix of red and burnt sienna, and this is more of a case of me restoring my faith in the build. When you see it all come together, it sort of encourages you to carry on, if you know what I mean. And now it's time for the step that is oh so fun for the kids, but for a semi-professional crafter like myself, not so much. It's paper mache time, but I'm doing this with kitchen roll. And the thing I don't like about paper mache is you have pretty much no control over the motherfucker. I'm using a solution of wood glue and water. Much more glue than water this time. I'm not making that mistake again. It takes forever to dry if you do half and half, so I do about 10% water, 90% glue. So I'm going to slap this on. I'm slapping it on all over this bloody thing. So much so that it's too heavy on one side. Hopefully that will be remedied by the end. After about a day and a half, maybe, it's dry enough for me to add more milliput, just around the eye socket and around the jawline and the lip and the nose and things. And once that's dry again, after a few more hours, time for another coat of red. I was watching this documentary the other day, considering it's Halloween. I thought you might be interested in it. It's all about ghosts. Ooh, have a look at this. Curbside ghost. Neighbour ghost. Psytrance pirate ghost. Subaqueous ghost. Jonathan ghost. What now ghost.
Kelnisk the Seducer.
I didn't know there was so many different types of ghosts. I don't know about you. Now I'm using one single sheet of kitchen roll, applying that over the skull like skin and pushing it to make openings. And once that's dry, it has a great effect. It looks like the fat on meat. You know, like when you got a marbled steak, that kind of thing. It's not what I'm going for, but I might use it later on. Patent pending. And with that layer of fat / skin, we're onto the painting stage. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory, this painting. I'll let you just watch. We can just have a chat. Now, this skull, I know people have made skulls all the time. Even my brother made a skull type thing this Halloween. And it was using the same skull from the same bloody shop. I didn't know. I haven't spoken to him in years. We didn't know we were using the same skull. But by the time his video came out, mine was already done. So I wasn't going to do another video. Not if I wanted it out before Halloween. Thought I'd get that out there before the comments start rolling in. This is just supposed to be fun. It's a bit of fun. And what this is a cheap Halloween decoration. The skull was £2. Milliput is about £3 or £4. And the only expensive thing would be the clay, which is about £4 or £5 anyway from an art shop. So you could make this thing for under a tenner, assuming you have paints, glue, and a tissue. And a bit of twine. Twine was £1 from the pound shop. I don't expect you to make this because this video is going out far too late for Halloween. But you could consider it next year. There's always another Halloween until there isn't, and it's the end of the world. And it's Halloween that we will miss the most. Also, going to get a bit heavy with you, right? A bit serious. Bill making stuff is my twin brother. I'm 2.5 minutes older than Bill. We shared a womb. We are actually twin brothers. I have had hundreds of comments of people saying, Bill making stuff, is this a side project of yours? Are you Bill making stuff pretending to be someone else? Bill's had the same comments as well. The thing is, right, when somebody says, is this a side project of yours? When these videos take me ages to make, so much work and effort, and it's all just the side project of Bill making stuff. It's quite kind of insulting. Now, I know you're not trying to insult me. You don't realise you're insulting me or Bill, but it does. So if you're listening to this, Bill making stuff is my twin brother. We aren't the same person. We're two different people that grew up liking the same things. So I will say that if I do see a comment, and I'm saying this because it's just not very good, it brings out a competitive nature when you compare two people. And being a twin, I've had a lifetime of it. Now, I will delete any comments that refer to me as Bill, or say, is this Bill's side project? And I'm not trying to be mean, you're not trying to be mean either, I'm sure. It's for the best. I'm not a big time YouTuber, someone who can just sort of chuck away comments, so I appreciate your comments more than anything. I can't be referred to as Bill. Having a lifetime as a twin, we both want our individuality. And it's very difficult when people keep comparing us, and it's not your fault either. I don't really know what my point is. Just know that if you call me Bill, I'm going to delete the comments. But please comment, thanks. Oh, did any of that make sense? It sounds like I'm having a go. I'm really not. I'm grateful for all of your comments. I'm Bill's twin brother. Bill's my twin brother. We are twin brothers. Twin brothers do exist in the world, and sometimes they like the same things. This thing is painted. The teeth are stained. It's ready for an eyeball, which I'm going to make out of some more Cernit translucent clay. Roll that into a giant olive shape. Push a dimple in one end where the iris is going to go, and then chop it in half with one swift ninja action. I've painted this thing with an off-white. It didn't really matter what clay you used, to be honest. You can use any clay for this. I decided against the translucency, so I've painted it off-white, and I've got a bundle of red wool, and I'm going to do the vein technique that Dark Matter Workshop, Gert from Dark Matter Workshop, taught us all many years ago. Apparently he will return to YouTube, and I do miss him, so go watch his videos. Send him a nice comment. Using a Pritt stick, I'm applying these fine strands of red wool to look like veins around the edge of the eyes, and then I'm going to cover that with a bit of speed paint, red speed paint, and wipe pretty much all of it off in kind of a pointless endeavour. It's time to paint the iris. I'm going to do this a lovely blue colour. I start with a light blue colour when you should start with a dark blue colour. I remedy this straight away. I don't know why I did that. It's supposed to be semi-professional. And gradually add lighter colours, brushing those out so you've got sort of a fibrous look to it, branching out like a many-limbed starfish. Couldn't think of any other way to describe it. And do each of these steps while the paint is still wet for a better effect. Once they're all done, wait till they're dry and then paint a black pupil in the middle. Now you're thinking this eye looks awfully alive. Well, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it one of those milky dead eyes that you see in all the Resident Evil games. Do you remember when you see the first zombie in Resident Evil and they said, oh, they scanned a real dead eye for that? And it was about 6 pixels. As you would have seen just there, I mixed one tiny droplet of white paint in with some UV resin and dropping that onto the eyeball. Now, when you do it, you want to cure it straight away so it's level. And then add more layers on top so it piles up like a dome. And keep curing with the UV light as you go. And then it ends up looking lovely and milky and dead. Just when you thought you'd had enough of the Milliput stage, I'm adding more Milliput around the eyelids there. The eye looks a bit too comical, just poking out like that. So I'm adding some eyelids, and once that's cured, painted to blend in with the rest. This is some Fimo Sahara coloured. Other desert colours are available, I believe. And I'm using this to make some maggots. Much like I did with the pumpkin video last year. Go have a look at that if you haven't seen that. I'm going to make a shit ton of maggots. The collective noun being a burrito of maggots. Making maggots is easy. You can do it with your kids, you can do it with your nan, you can do it with your granddad. But not your uncle, he's busy. Roll out a long old sausage of this Sahara coloured clay. It's just like an off-white colour. Pretty much. And once it's thin enough, take the blunt side of your art shiv and roll it. Roll the clay until you've got the little indentations, and when you've got your maggot length of choice, cut it off, cut it free, and then roll each end into a point. And there you go, that's a maggot. Bend them slightly before you want to bake them. Get them in all sorts of poses, because I'm making about 50 of these. Look at them all. Am I the only person in the world that thinks maggots are a little bit cute? Now, taking out a bit of a kitchen roll to put underneath, I'm just going to stain all of these maggots with some speed paint, a brown speed paint, and dab it occasionally, just to give them a bit of variation, a little bit of darker brown in the recesses. And then when they're all looking lovely and maggoty, going to start attaching them to mainly around the left eye socket. It's right of the screen but left of the skull. The left eye socket is going to be rammed full of maggots. That's why I left it empty. Just like this. Here we go. And there it is, covered in maggots. This isn't the finished article. Still need to add the UV resin gloss, which you will see in the showcase. Now I'm going to thank the patrons quickly. We're going to start with the tippity top tier. We have Gemma Ingram, Arkham Fan 96, Ben Deckard, Benedict Miller, Country Fried Minis, Dave Birdsall, Demon Mittenhands, Ed Trotz, Jay from Lo-Fi Workshop, Julian Soto, Miranda Stone, Rich Evans, Rico Shear, Smokey, Tony Ellison, and Zoltan. And also a great big welcome to the brand new patrons. We've got Arkham Fan 96, Lionel Sapkus, Jay from Lo-Fi Workshop, Horrid Slough, Matthew Richardson, Echo, Simon Hollyoak, Jared TR, it's an email address, I won't read that, Something Bruin. And as ever, a big thank you to everybody in the do-gooders tier and to everybody in the doers tier. I'm so surprised that you continue to support me. It really, it astounds me. Thank you so much. If you'd like to help support the channel, then there is a link in the info for the patron. There's a link in the comments section as well. Thank you very much, everybody. Happy Halloween! Once this is done, I'm off to do a quick Ouija board for a bit of fun. What harm could come from such things, eh? and I hope you have a great Halloween. Here is the showcase. Love you all. Bye.